meeting intended to get the director, or the board of the Trustees Education Initiative together for the first time, get to know each other, get to know why each person agreed to be on this board and what cards they want to play up early. I mean, you know, why are you here, Mark Northam, you know? Well, he's got a really great set of experiences in working with boards, starting a new innovative product, you know, from ground up, processes that, you know, went awry and some good cautions. So everybody kind of went around the table and said, you know, why are you here? What's your perspective on this? We had everybody from a freshman in our program, okay, to an oil magnate CEO, you know, and everything in between, school superintendents, the state superintendent, the president of the university. Everybody has a perspective on education and why we need to change it. We wanted to get that all out on the table and get to build some trust and relationship with each other. Following that, we started to talk about procedural issues. You know, how are we going to roll this thing out? How's it going to be governed? Who's, you know, if I need to spend $15,000 on something, who authorizes that? You know, just the, you know, the nuts and bolts of how the board's going to operate and procedures. A subcommittee will eventually be formed to create bylaws so that we have operational procedures. We talked a lot about the need to hire an executive director. Some people are asking, well, what do you need an executive director for, you know? Well, you know, because this is a huge project, and according to some outside observers outside our state, it's the biggest undertaking in educational reform at the collegiate level they've ever seen. And so one person can't do it. It's kind of like this book I love to read, Atul Gawande. It's called Checklist Manifesto. He talks about how the first bomber was flown by a single pilot and crashed. And the headlines the next day were, "Too much airplane for one man to fly." Well, this initiative is too much airplane for one dean to fly, because I still have a college to be dean of, and we need somebody to manage this huge operation in tandem with me and reporting to the board. So that was a lot of conversation, and what kind of person that ought to be, and how we're going to search for them, and how soon we expect to get them here, and all of that. And then the next part of the discussion was all about how we plan to plan, how we're going to actually move through the process of creating a strategic plan for elevating the College of Education to preeminent status. And that was a long, lengthy discussion. You saw probably the whiteboard up front with diagrams on it and how we were thinking about the processes. And we had a long discussion on how we plan to roll, how we plan to plan. And then the last little bit was you know, pretty much discussions of how we plan to fundraise and who the funders may be for this project. And public relations and marketing of it, and how we plan to get, you know, that out to the folks so that we have good communication loops, both internal to the university and external to the university, because everybody's hearing about this initiative, and we don't have a dissemination network and a way of making sure that what's going on with this initiative is conveyed to the interested stakeholders around the state of Wyoming and beyond. And when we got to that point, we were exhausted, and the meeting adjourned.